A very good evening. We are just 7 days away from the 2024 general election. And it's gone darker outside. Yes, things are looking a little bit gloomy. That's 7 days to go. But in 7 days' time, at this very stage, we'll have just over 2 hours left of voting, because voting is open from 7 a.m. right through until 10 p.m. on election day, which of course is Thursday, July 4th. Not May the 4th, as I almost said last night on Shatliff Tonight. On the programme tonight, we'll do our usual routine of having a look at the stories from both the Sky News and the ITV News app. And tonight's big talking point, which I just want to discuss, is something which I've thought about since 1992, and that's whether or not the voting age should be 16. Some have talked about it. You can do it, I believe, in Scotland or Wales. What about the rest of the United Kingdom? Is it something that should happen, could happen? We'll discuss it shortly. But before that, though, let's take a look at those stories which are making the news from Sky News. Now, Sir Keir Starmer says there is no evidence private schools will have to close due to Labour VAT ban. Sir Keir Starmer has said there's no evidence when talking to Sky News that private schools will be forced to close due to Labour's plans to impose VAT on them. Speaking to Sky's Sophie Ridge, the Labour leader, who sits with Prime Minister in just 8 days' time, defended the party's education policy to use the money to support state schools. He said, "I think they will adapt," he said. "We've had lots of increases in costs over the last 14 years, and they've accommodated it. There's no evidence to show these schools will close. They don't have to pass the cost on to the parents." Addressing parents' concerns, he added, "It's a difficult choice, but they're businesses in the end, and they're very successful in the round." Jay Slater's mother has said the family are working with GoFundMe to withdraw some of the £36,000 that has been raised since the teenager disappeared. Debbie Duncan, posting on Get Jay Slater Home on GoFundMe, which has been set up on the crowdfunding platform, said the money would be used to support the mountain rescue teams who are tirelessly searching for Jay. She said also the money would be used to help cover accommodation and food expenses for the family around in Tenerife, hoping to search for the 19-year-old. The fundraiser, which was set up to support Mr. Slater's family, had raised more than £36,400 by this morning. Rishi Sunak, a senior advisor in Downing Street, has been interviewed in the investigation into bets by Conservatives on the date of the general election. Liam Booth-Smith, the Downing Street Chief of Staff, was interviewed last week by senior Gambling Commission officials and questioned about who knew about the timing of the election. We'll go on to the ITV News app now. They're saying about the Met Police to investigate politicians involved in the betting scandal. Sir Keir Starmer has told ITV News he wasn't intending to cause any concern or offence with comments he made about Bangladeshi asylum seekers. The Labour leader is facing a backlash from his own party after he singled out Bangladesh as a country where illegal migrants are not being deported to quickly enough. Now, there's a lot of talk, of course, in regards to the general election and also whether who's behind who in terms of leaders who could be struggling during the general election. One person who's also going through criticism as well as scrutiny is the England manager Gareth Southgate, Now, England's next game, which is on Sunday at 5 o'clock, being shown on the best channel, ITV1, is against Slovakia. If the Blues, then will Gareth Southgate last longer than the current Prime Minister, Rishi Sunak, who loses on Thursday. But Mark Geady has said the England squad are fully behind Gareth Southgate, while dismissing comments that the side has a favourable Euros draw in the round of 16. As the curtain closed on the group stage on Wednesday, a shocked Georgia, they won against Portugal, means that England dodged the Netherlands and will instead face off against Slovakia. The shock result means that instead of facing the side that are 7th in FIFA's world ranking, England will take on 45th place Slovakia when they return to Gelsenkirchen this Sunday. Furthermore, Spain, Germany, Portugal, France and Belgium are in the other half of the draw, adding further expectation to England, who were booed at the end of Tuesday's 0-0 draw with Slovenia. Well, judging off that performance, which I was watching on Tuesday evening, and bearing in mind that is the only England game that I've watched during this tournament, then Slovakia could quite easily be within a chance on Sunday evening. But that's not in any way trying to deliberately ridicule England, because I have been watching England football now for a very, very long time, and went through a stage of optimism, and then all of a sudden 2018, yes, semi-final, 2021 final, yes, and now so it's one of those scenarios where you start thinking to yourself about exactly what you're watching when you are watching England play in these tournaments. But of course, they want to be able to win and see if they can get to that final and win it on this occasion, which would be absolutely fantastic. So of course we do wish them well, but the problem is the way they have been performed, and again decisions and various different types of things, then it does make you start to be doubtful of various different stuff like that. The court will say, "Come on, England," on Sunday evening. Right, okay. Now I've mentioned there, giving hints there, watching football for a very, very long time. I mentioned there 1992 when I was 16 years of age. And of course, on Thursday, April 9th, 1992, John Major won a fourth term for the Conservatives. Margaret Thatcher won the previous three elections, but it was a historic, it was a fourth term for the Conservatives, and Labour had been tipped to win that general election, but not with a massive opinion poll of 20 plus points like it has been during this general election campaign. At that particular time, age 16, I was thinking, yes, I really wish I was able to vote, because I was understanding what was happening during that election campaign. I was understanding what was going on in the 1983 general election campaign. I started young with politics. So when people have spoken many other times then about whether or not to give the voting age to 16-year-olds, I've said, yes, do so, because I think that is a very, very good idea. So I'm not going to still do a U-turn now, thinking now that I'm a little bit older, thinking, oh no, these young ones do really know what to think about these things. Yes, they do, because when I was 16 years of age, I left school. Now it's 18, the official age of education finishing, and I'm going to talk about education and various different things like that as another idea which I would do if I was in a position of authority. But this is one of those things, if I was in a position of authority, something I think does need to be looked at. The voting age definitely does need to go to the age of 16 across England, Ireland, Scotland and Wales, across all the various elections. Give our young people a chance, because if they are told that at 16 years of age they've got that opportunity there, as it then was about being able to leave school, and then start working, then they should have a responsibility to vote for the politicians that make the decisions. So yes, lower the voting age to 16 years of age. So Josh and Zach, if you are watching, that means that in 5 years' time, if that was to be lowered to the age of 16, then if the next general election is in 5 years' time, in 2027, and it is May time, you could be joining your uncle then and being able to vote. But we'll just see exactly what happens on that one, because this is something that has been discussed. Right, short and sweet tonight. Reason being is because I've talked enough, and I have said, as well as doing this on a nightly basis, that I also want to make sure that certain things that are discussed on each evening as well. We went through 2 weeks of discussing the political parties, the various different ones. That gave something to keep the programme going, but I don't just want to be thinking, right, I'm doing Ben Shatliff Tonight just for the sake of it during this general election campaign. There's still some more stuff to discuss before those days, and then I'm not going to start summing things up because there's been so much going on. But then next week we'll start to wind down then, and then on Thursday evening, next Thursday, will be general election night itself. I will be doing some live recording during the night, but not too late. But you know, there's something going on into what they say, the really small early hours of the morning. And I'll be telling you more about that next week on Ben Shatliff Tonight. And Ben Shatliff on Sunday will be on this Sunday as well. I'll decide that most likely after the game, but we'll just decide if we're going to try and have a bit relaxing down Sunday. It's been a busy few weeks. We've got to decide how our set is going to be for the election night coverage as well. So it might be you might see me go from a different location, still within the same building, but just while we get things ready. But all of that will be decided on the coming days. It's Thursday, June 27th, 2024. Thank you very much indeed for watching. Good night.